Good morning, everybody. I thought I'd just jump on because there's a real mix of different energies on Instagram this morning and on social media generally. We hit the 1 year marker from our first lockdown, and it's a sad time, but because a lot of people have been really ill and passed away from it, and we all know people that have actually died from it, myself included. But it's also a time to remember actually how far you've come, and how regardless of the issues and everything that's been thrown at you, you're still here and you're still doing really, really well. Now this morning I came downstairs, my kids woke me up really early. They're not in school at the moment because they're both full of cold, so they are proper little snot monsters, and so I am homeschooling again. So on the agenda this morning is a bit of science and some ancient Egypt, I think, which means that my Egyptology degree will come in useful for something at the very least. So we're going to do that. But I thought it would be useful to kind of let you know, when I came downstairs this morning, I had an old pair of jeans on, an old t-shirt, and my hair tied back. And I thought, right, well, I'll get downstairs, I'll prep the work, and we'll start. And actually what happened was that I realised that the sun was out and it was shining. I made breakfast, I tidied up ready, and I thought, you can't start the day like this. You can't expect to have a good day without putting in something first thing. So I went back upstairs and I changed my trousers and I put a nice fresh jumper on, my favourite scarf, my favourite earrings, and I moved forward like that, and actually gave my hair a quick brush. Still not really done properly, and I'm still nice and fluffy. Still not wearing any makeup and things like that, but I'm fresh and I'm focused and I'm ready, because you win the morning, you win the day, and by starting the day right, you can really push yourself forwards to achieve something really great. When you come downstairs, put something nice on, put something on that you know that you love the feel of and that will really, really inspire you. When you come down, make sure, downstairs I mean, when you start your breakfast, it's really important. I know a lot of us, myself included, aren't really breakfasty kind of people, but every morning I ensure that I have some breakfast, just to kickstart my energy. I am a coffee fiend, so I would start drinking coffee pretty much before I open my eyes. But it's also important not to rely on that first thing, that caffeine hit, because actually our bodies have got enough first thing in the morning, enough energy to push us through. So if you need that hit, don't waste it first thing, because you're not really doing anything for yourself. So get yourself a nice big a pint of fresh water or a herbal tea. Like I'm drinking mint, or I was drinking mint, but I finished it. And that way then you can get yourself into the right sort of state of mind, and you're really bringing those energy levels, your prana or your life force, you're bringing it up, and you're setting yourself up with the right intention for the day. And intention's another great thing. If you're going to start your day, take a few minutes, even if it's just standing by the sink, looking at the window or letting that sun kind of hit your face. What are you going to do with your day? What do you plan on achieving with your day? How are you going to help somebody else? And how could other people, or how could the world help you? What do you need? It's a really good idea to write things down. We don't all have the opportunity, but if you just have the chance to jot down a couple of things. What is your goal for the day? What is your goal for the week? What can you do? And don't set them too high, because you don't want to be failing too early on. What can you do to achieve those goals first thing? And they can be tiny little things. Your to-do list, it's great to have a to-do list, and make sure you make it time-bound and manageable. But also have a to-do list to do for me. So the kind of things you're going to do, because I once read in a fantastic book, actually, The Empowered Entrepreneur, that if you imagined you were working in a day with your friends, or you had a friend shadowing you all day, how would you want that person to want to come back the next day and do exactly the same thing over with you? Now, this got me thinking, because if I had any of my friends with me for the day, they would be starting really early in the morning. They would be grabbing a quick tea or a coffee, then they get a vitamin, and then they would start straight into it. And they would work for hours until lunch. And then for lunch, they probably kind of forget to have lunch, or maybe top up on coffee and have another, maybe a quick sandwich or a bite to eat while they were working. And then they carry on for hours again. And in between, they'd answer emails and advertise on social media. And I can honestly say that by the end of the day, there's not one of my friends that would want to come back and do the same thing again. So why am I expecting myself to do it? And I think that's what you need to think about. How can you fix this day so that a friend of yours would want to want to come back and do it with you the next day? And make sure you have a nice breakfast for yourself. Your lunch hour is your lunch hour. It's for a good reason. You're not being lazy. Like I always assume, if I stop, I'm being lazy, I could fill my time with things. Stop. Give yourself the opportunity to just take stock of what you've done in the morning and to treat yourself. Make yourself a nice lunch, something that's really colourful again. I quite like to do a little platter sometimes for myself, maybe some avocado on toast and some chopped peppers and dip and things like that. Read a book. I have a couple of books that I'm reading at the moment. Unlike my husband, I like to have about 5 books on the go at the same time because my energy and my focus is never the same. I've always got more than one project on. So with the books, I like to dip in and out, and I have a book for every mood, almost. So sit by the table and read yourself a chapter of your book. Try and aim for 5 pages every single day, and then you're constantly reading, you're constantly dipping into doing things you want. And then on your to-do list, make sure that when the kids have gone to bed, you've got something that you want to do then. Have those little rituals. Personally, I like to roll up my mat and I do some yoga. Once I've done half an hour of yoga, I make myself a pot of chamomile tea. I know it's rock and roll. But that I sit down and I read a book. And once I've read the book, at least part of the book, I do try and go to bed quite early. And that ensures that when I wake up in the morning, or inevitably when I'm up a lot of the night with any of my kids, that I've got the energy to push myself forward with it. So just have a little think, just concentrate on what it is that you are doing for yourself, as well as what it is you're doing for everybody else in the day. Because don't forget, without fueling yourself properly, and that is emotionally, spiritually, physically, you're not going to be able to achieve everything that you can achieve in the day, and everything that you're able to and you should be able to achieve for yourself, for your family, for your home, for your job, everything. And it all comes down to how you treat yourself. So this time, don't forget, remember that you've achieved so much already, and we have powered through, and we are warriors, because we have made it a year in the most bizarre, unprecedented times, and we are still here, and we are still powering through and pushing. We're pushing on, and we'll continue to push on because it won't last forever. So make sure you have a great day, and I will speak to you later.